You are going to live a life where every dollar is stained with blood, where trust is a currency more valuable than cash, and where the higher you climb, the farther you have to fall. Level 1. The Runner. You're 16 years old. You're standing on a corner in West Baltimore at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. The streetlight above you was shot out 3 months ago. Nobody's coming to fix it. A car pulls up, black Chevy Impala, tinted windows, engine idling. The window rolls down halfway. A hand extends. You don't see a face. You take the package. It's smaller than you expected, heavier than you expected. You don't open it because you were told not to open it. You walk 4 blocks north. You don't run. Running attracts attention. You walk like you belong here, like you're just going home, like you're not carrying enough product to put you away for 5 years if the wrong cop stops you at the wrong moment. You deliver it to an apartment on the 3rd floor of a building that smells like piss and mold and something you can't identify, but that makes your stomach turn. A man opens the door. He's maybe 25. He looks 40. He counts the package without looking at you. He hands you $50. You made $50 for 20 minutes of work. That's more than your mom makes in a shift at the grocery store where she works doubles to keep the lights on. You tell yourself you're only doing this once, just to help with rent. Just until things get better, you're lying to yourself. You don't know that yet. Level 2. The Corner Boy. You're 17 now. You dropped out of school 4 months ago. Nobody noticed. The truancy letters stopped coming. Your mom works too much to ask questions she doesn't want the answers to. You're on the corner every day now, 2 p.m. to midnight, sometimes longer. You've got a spot, your spot. You earned it by showing up every single day for 6 weeks straight, through rain, through 2 separate shootings 3 blocks away. Through the night, the cops swept the whole block and you had to ditch your stash in a storm drain and come back for it 3 hours later. You know the regulars now, the functioning addicts who cop every morning before work, the ones who come at lunch, the ones who show up at 3 a.m. shaking so bad they can barely hold the money. You don't judge them. Judgment is a luxury you can't afford. You serve them. You take their money. You hand them the product. The exchange takes 4 seconds. You've timed it. You're making $300 a day, sometimes $500. You bought your mom a new TV. You told her you got a job at a warehouse. She didn't ask which warehouse. She wanted to believe you. You have a gun now, a Glock 19. You keep it tucked in your waistband under your hoodie. You've never fired it. You pray you never have to. But 3 corner boys on the east side got robbed last month. One of them is in a wheelchair now. The other 2 are dead. The gun is insurance. That's what you tell yourself. You sleep with it under your pillow. Level 3. The Enforcer. You're 19. You've moved up. You're not on the corner anymore. Corner work is for the young kids, the hungry ones, the ones who haven't proven themselves yet. You've proven yourself. It happened 6 months ago. A customer tried to run off with product without paying. He made it half a block. You caught him in an alley. What happened next took 90 seconds. You don't think about it. When you do think about it, late at night, you see his face. The way he looked at you, not with hate, with surprise, like he couldn't believe this was happening, like he thought you'd let him go. You didn't let him go. Word got around. Word always gets around. Your lieutenant pulled you aside 2 days later, said you handled it, said you're ready for more responsibility. Now you manage 3 corners. You've got 12 runners working under you. Kids, really. 14, 15, 16 years old. You collect from them every night. You count the money. You check the product. You make sure nobody's skimming, nobody's using, nobody's talking to people they shouldn't be talking to. You carry a different gun now. A .40 caliber. You fired this one twice. Once into the air to break up a dispute. Once at a car that rolled through your territory at 2 a.m. with out-of-state plates and windows that didn't roll down when you approached. You don't know if you hit anyone. You don't want to know. You're making $2,000 a week. You moved your mom to a better apartment. You bought yourself a car, a used BMW. Nothing flashy. Flashy gets you noticed. You pay cash for everything. You have no bank account, no credit cards, no paper trail. You're 19 years old and you're disappearing from the legitimate world 1 transaction at a time. Level 4. The Lieutenant. You're 22. You run the west side, 8 corners, 40 runners, 2 enforcers who report to you. You're clearing $10,000 a week. After you kick up to the people above you, you keep about $4,000. You have an apartment now, a real apartment in a building with a doorman who doesn't ask questions because you tip him $200 every month. You have furniture that doesn't come from Goodwill. You have a closet full of clothes that still have tags on them because you don't actually wear them. You wear the same hoodie and jeans you've always worn because anything else makes you a target. You have meetings now. You sit in the back of restaurants that close early on weeknights for private events. You sit at tables tables with men who are older than you, harder than you, men who have done things you've only heard about in whispers. You discuss supply, you discuss territory, you discuss problems. Problems are usually people. Someone's skimming, someone's talking, someone's disrespecting the arrangement, someone needs to be handled. You handle it. Or you delegate it to your enforcers. Either way, it gets handled. It always gets handled. You've lost count of how many times you've looked someone in the eye and made a decision about whether they live or die. Not directly. You don't pull triggers anymore. You don't have to. You just nod, or you shake your head. Someone else does the rest. You think about that sometimes. The distance between the decision and the action. How easy it is when you're not the one holding the gun. How much easier it is to sleep at night. You still don't sleep much. Your mom asks where the money comes from. You tell her you're in real estate. She knows you're lying. She takes the money anyway. Your little sister is in private school now. She's going to college. She's going to get out. But you're never getting out. Level 5, the connect. You're 25. You don't manage corners anymore. You manage suppliers. You're the connect, the bridge between the Mexicans who move weight across the border and the street-level organizations that distribute it across the city. You meet with people whose names you don't know in locations that change every time. Hotel rooms, parking garages, empty warehouses. The product comes in shipments, kilos, sometimes tens of kilos. You don't touch it. You don't see it. You arrange it. You coordinate it. You make sure the money flows one direction and the product flows the other, and nobody gets robbed, and nobody gets arrested, and nobody talks. This is a logistics operation. You think in terms of supply chains, distribution networks, risk management. You've read books on business. You've studied operations management. You're running a multi-million-dollar enterprise from a burner phone that you replace every 2 weeks. You have lawyers now, the kind who represent politicians and corporate executives. They're on retainer. They've never met you in person. They communicate through intermediaries. They will be there if you ever get arrested. That's the arrangement. You're making $50,000 a week. You don't know what to do with it. You can't spend it. Not really. Not without attracting attention. You buy property through shell companies. You invest in legitimate businesses that lose just enough money to justify the cash you run through them. You're laundering your own fortune through a network so complex that even you sometimes lose track of where everything is. You haven't seen your mom in 4 months. You send her money. She doesn't ask how much or why. Your sister graduated college. She doesn't know what you do. She suspects. She doesn't ask. You didn't go to her graduation. Too many cameras. Too many unfamiliar faces. You're alone in a way that money cannot fix. Level 6, the partner. You're 28. You're not an employee anymore. You're a partner. You own a piece of the operation. Not the biggest piece, but a piece. You sit at tables with men who move weight across 3 states. You vote on decisions, expansions, contractions, wars, truces. There was a war last year. A rival organization tried to push into your territory. It lasted 3 months. 14 people died. None of them were you. You planned it that way. You planned everything. The hits, the retaliation, the eventual sit-down that ended it. You brokered the peace. You sat across from men who wanted you dead, and you negotiated terms that both sides could live with. Literally live with. Because the alternative was more bodies and more heat, and eventually federal intervention that nobody wanted. You're a diplomat now. A diplomat in a world where diplomacy is backed by the threat of extreme violence. You speak carefully. You listen more than you talk. You've developed the ability to sit in a room with someone who killed your friend and negotiate a drug corridor without showing anything on your face. You own businesses now. Real businesses. A car wash, a restaurant, a construction company. They all make money. Some of them even make legitimate money. You go to the restaurant sometimes. You sit in a booth and eat food that you technically own, and you watch normal people have normal conversations about normal things, and you feel like you're watching a play in a language you used to speak but have forgotten. You're making $200,000 a month. You have accounts in 3 countries. You have properties you've never seen. You have wealth that you cannot enjoy, because enjoying it would mean exposure, and exposure would mean indictment. You think about getting out. Everyone thinks about getting out. Nobody gets out. The ones who try end up dead or in witness protection, which is just another kind of death. Level 7, the boss. You're 32. The man above you got indicted. Federal RICO case. 47 counts. He'll die in prison. The power vacuum was immediate and vicious. There were 3 candidates to replace him. Now there's one. You. It cost you. It cost you people you thought were loyal. It cost you relationships you thought were solid. It cost you parts of yourself that you didn't know you still had until you had to trade them away. You run everything now. The supply, the distribution, the enforcement, the money, the politics, the arrangements with the cops who look the other way, the arrangements with the politicians who take donations from your legitimate businesses and don't ask where the money originates. You employ 300 people directly. Indirectly, your operation supports thousands: runners, dealers, transporters, lookouts, lawyers, accountants, legitimate business employees who have no idea what actually funds their paychecks. You're a CEO. You manage personnel issues. You handle disputes. You make strategic decisions about market expansion and risk mitigation. You read earnings reports from your street corners the way a corporate executive reads quarterly statements. You meet with your lieutenants once a week. You meet with your partners once a month. You meet with your suppliers every quarter. These meetings are formal. There are agendas, there are action items, there are minutes that are never written down but that everyone remembers because forgetting could be fatal. You're making $500,000 a month, you have more money than you can count, you have power that extends into city hall, into police precincts, into courtrooms. You've built something that operates like a government inside the government. You also have a target on your back. Federal prosecutors have a file on you. It's 600 pages long. You know this because you have people who have seen it. They don't have enough yet, but they're building. They're always building. You're 32 years old. You haven't had a real conversation with another human being in 3 years. Everyone who talks to you wants something. Everyone who smiles at you is calculating. You trust no one. You cannot afford to. You don't remember what it felt like to be 16, standing on that corner, taking that first package. That person is gone. You killed him, one decision at a time. Level 8, the ghost. The indictment came 6 months ago. 73 counts: conspiracy, racketeering, distribution, money laundering, murder. The prosecutor held a press conference. She said your name. She showed your photo. She promised justice. You didn't wait for the arrest. You had a plan for this. Everyone at your level has a plan for this. You're gone, not dead. Worse than dead. You're a ghost. You liquidated everything you could liquidate. You moved everything you could move. You left the country through channels that don't stamp passports. You're in a city you won't name in a country that doesn't extradite. You live in a comfortable apartment. You have money. You have safety. You have nothing else. You watch the trial on a laptop. Your former partners are testifying against each other. Your lieutenants are taking deals. Your empire is being dismantled piece by piece in a federal courtroom while cameras broadcast it live. Your mom died 4 months ago. You found out from a news article. You couldn't go to the funeral. You couldn't call. You couldn't send flowers. You sat in your apartment and you cried for the first time in 15 years, and there was no one there to see it. Your sister has changed her name. She's married. She has a kid. You've seen photos online. You will never meet your nephew. He will grow up never knowing you existed. You built an empire. You made millions. You had power that men would kill for. Men did kill for it. You killed for it. You're 34 years old. You're alive. You're free in the technical sense that you're not in prison. You sit on your balcony and you look at the ocean and you think about the kid on the corner taking his first package from a car with tinted windows. You think about warning him. You think about what you would say. You wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't listen anyway. They all think they're different. They all think they'll be the one who gets out clean. Nobody gets out clean. The game doesn't work that way. It never did. The cycle continues. Somewhere right now, a kid is standing on a corner. He's taking a package. He's making $50. He's telling himself it's temporary. He's lying to himself. He doesn't know it yet. He will. You knew a version of him once. You were him. That person is gone now. You're what's left. A ghost with money in a country that isn't home, waiting for nothing, running from everything, winning a game that has no winners, only survivors. And even that's temporary. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel because next, only more interesting stories.